Needle Wrestling WrestleMania preview. It is time, fellas. It is time. And this is like it really does feel special, right? I mean, Gene, you were just at Raw the other night. I have to orient myself when I do this. Robin Lundberg, Gene Cherry, Dave Sepperson here with you. And the energy, it just feels like this is a special time.
It really does, man. And honestly, I feel like we're heading towards like graduation, kind of like everything we've been working for, and it's coming to an end, kind of. You know what I mean? Because wrestling hasn't been this dope for a very long time. So, as much as I am enjoying this moment and this special moment of WrestleMania and the road to WrestleMania, I'm like, damn, man, is it like how are we gonna feel the night after WrestleMania? Are we still gonna be this excited? That's kind of how I'm feeling right now, man. I'm super excited for the event, but I'm kind of worried that at the end it's just not going to be as dope. But if I'm talking about right now, like let's get it, man. It's been a hell of a ride.
Yeah, the night after WrestleMania will be what it's going to be. I'm sure there'll be new champions, new storylines, new everything. But for right now, with what we've had leading up to arguably the biggest Mania of all time, and some of the best matches that I would have like predicted going into this WrestleMania, like we have been treated with some incredible television.
Well, the card is stacked. And speaking of incredible television, the end of Raw, right? Yeah, that tag match might be the best pivot I've ever seen in wrestling history. I mean, when you think about it, it was really just thrown together. And you were thinking at first, like, oh, what could be but the stakes in it feel very real now. And I really do think, and we've used this comparison before, but to me, that is going to be the Avengers Infinity War to the next night's Avengers Endgame, where I think you'll see all the good guys congregate to help Cody. But I'm predicting right here that Cody Rhodes eats the pin on night one to enact bloodline rules on night two.
Well, I'll say this: like it almost feels like this was all planned, wouldn't you say? Like you guys call it a pivot. I'm telling you, this has been in the makings for a very long time. It has been too good for this to just get thrown together like this. Like The Rock turning heel, being able to save WrestleMania after CM Punk got injured. This was all a part of the plan. I think you all have been worked. I'm going to stick to it because of how well this has gone. You don't make these kind of moves on the fly, man. This has been incredible television. And on Saturday, yeah, Cody Rhodes is going to, everyone knows, Cody Rhodes is going to catch that L. The last shot of Monday Night Raw is the exact shot we're going to see at the end of night one of WrestleMania. The Rock and Roman Reigns standing tall with that belt. And then Sunday night, Cody Rhodes gets the group, bloodline rules, and then we all go home happy. He finishes his story. But it has been incredible. That being said, this was all a part of the plan. This was not by accident. I refuse to believe this was by accident.
You know what? I'm at the point I don't care anymore. We've gotten to this point. It's been incredible. Even if I hated the beginning of what they did, if let's just say that was the decision and they were going to pivot it, whatever. We were worked. Who cares? We're to think about that press conference in Las Vegas to what we've arrived at now. They've done such a good job telling that story, getting us invested in all these characters, rebuilding Rock as a heel. Like, it's just been amazing. Cody is as over as he's ever been. I'm more invested in Cody Rhodes now than I quite frankly even was last year, which is amazing when you think about it. Like, I want him to win, and I kind of want him to lose that one because I really do want to see Bloodline Rules because I want to see how crazy it's going to be. And you're right. It probably will be Cody taking the L. I think that makes the most sense. But anyway we slice it, like that match, like I can almost make an argument they've booked WrestleMania to Saturday night's main event more than anything else. That tag match is the most important match on the show.
Until it happens, and then the next night's match is the most. That's the thing about it. I feel that way now too. But then you remember, oh, wait a second, they've turned Cody into like the ultimate babyface. I mean, beating the piss out of him every time that we see him. Little kids crying. The Rock cutting the pro. I thought everybody killed it on Monday, by the way. I thought The Rock again. I thought Roman's perk was perfect. I thought Seth coming through the crowd. All of that worked. And like, even the aspect of it of Seth feeling like a weaker link, I'm past. I feel like everything is firing on all cylinders going into this match and those main events. Like, there's a couple of matches on the card that I can go, okay, I could do without. But for the most part, the joint is stacked.
Yeah, I'll say I think the only guy that might have taken a back seat off of Monday Night Raw, I was a little disappointed we didn't get to see him in front of the crowd, was Drew McIntyre, because he's been killing it. So as far as that's the only critique I have on Monday Night Raw is the fact that the challenger for the world title we only saw kind of like a little small promo on the screen, But overall, because Drew's been killing it, he hasn't missed. So it would have been nice to kind of see him and Seth get a little tangled more. But overall, I agree. I think they've done a great job. And obviously, Roman finally, he's putting hands on people. We need to see that happen. Like, to me, he showed why he's the tribal chief, why folks are acknowledging him. And it was about time. And
real quick before we move on, and I know, Gene, I don't want to do the whole Roman thing with you, but they did have the A&E biography on Roman on Sunday night, and it was fine. Like, I'm not saying like that was the best thing I've ever watched, but you do just have to remember and acknowledge that this entire thing started because of him, and it's a lot. You might say it's been stale for the last year, but that's 2.5 years before that we're still going. So you have to give the man his props for really taking the WWE from the pandemic era, whatever was going on there, to where we're at now. Now, the juice has been put in by Cody. It's been put in by The Rock. There's no question about that. But Roman was the one carrying the ball 90 yards down the field.
It was not been 90 yards. See, I was agreeing with you. It has not been 90 yards. What are we talking about? The man, you just said it yourself. You just said the man has been stale for the last year. Come on.
No,
now.
I'm saying that's what you say.
I will say, well, he has been stale. Like I dare you to pick a time where he wasn't stale in the last year. But I will say this: Roman definitely
destroyed him. That's like one of the best promos I've ever seen in my life.
Well, The Rock's been killed. Have you not been watching The Rock? Have you not been?
You said I dare you to name a time, and I named a time.
Well, that wasn't it. That was, to me, that's mid. But anyways, I'll say this: so Roman Reigns. I watched the documentary. I thought it was great. You forget since we're talking about it, what took me by surprise and what I was a little more shocked with was the fact that the man is still dealing. He's still taking medication, and it kind of humanized him a little bit. And I thought that was a really nice touch to add in that documentary because you forget how much this guy has been battling his medical issues. And I appreciate him, honestly. And Monday, I had the ones up on Monday, honestly. Like, you kind of, when you're in that arena, you almost kind of got it.
Right? Like, I was thinking about you. When I watched that on TV, I was thinking about you. Because you could not ignore the pop when that man came out.
No, it was dope. The entrance is dope. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I will be rooting for Team Rock and Roman on Saturday. Best believe that. But best believe on Sunday, Cody needs to whoop that ass and take that title. And I'm looking forward to that as well. But yeah, Roman Reigns deserves everything. And this is why I do believe he is going to lose on Sunday, because he has taken this as high as he can. And it's been a beautiful thing to see. And I can't wait till the next chapter with him and Rock.
I'll say the ending where they said, if he loses, he's going to go away is honestly for the best, because Roman has gotten to the point where he's hit that peak. So like, if he loses and he does get to go away for a little while, and then we eventually bring him back to fight The Rock or whatever they decide, will be the best for everybody. Rock, even though he's been away, Roman has been away, he still needs, like, we need to cleanse from the Roman Empire and, like, you know, the bloodline. It'll be time for something new and something fresh. So I am excited to see that. But one thing they did utilize was also adding in Jimmy Uso and The Rock putting hands on each other. And that was really exciting.
That was funny.
Because, I mean, Gene, you were there. What was the reaction like to Jimmy Uso?
Jimmy Uso is over as hell. The crowd loves Jimmy Uso, man. Yeet was said almost anytime the man. Oh, Jay. Did I say Jimmy or Jay?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Jay Uso is over as hell, man. Like, to me, this dude is box office, and he hasn't even won a title. But when he went to the back and then got thrown into out into the crowd, like Uncle Phil threw Jazz back on Fresh Prince, like, that was funny as hell. But I'll say this, Jay, to me, is a star in the making. And it was really nice to see, man. I'm disappointed that I'm not going to be able to see him on Saturday, because that entrance is lit as hell, bro. He's probably got the best entrance in the game right now.
I've been telling you guys this for a minute. My son dressed up as Raj, who's going to WrestleMania with me, dressed up as Jey Uso for Halloween, right? Like, and that's
cool.
That's his favorite wrestler. He reminds me of one of those guys, you know, he reminds me of like the Bret Harts and the Shawn Michaels of the past, the guys who felt like they were intercontinental champions and then got, not that that's what he's had, but you know what I mean? Like that level, and then go on to the bigger and better things. And that's what's interesting about this match, because if you want to keep the feud going, Jay would need to lose. And if you want to build Jimmy, Jay would need to lose. But at the same time, I feel like Jay has lost a lot, and he's so popular that it's probably worth it to sacrifice Jimmy to put Jay over and to give the fans that moment.
Nah, I disagree. I disagree. I think it's Jimmy. I think Jimmy has to take the dub on this one because Jay has already shown he's lost. You just said he's lost, and he's still people's favorite wrestler. They got him in the back with Lil Wayne. I think it was Travis Scott last week. Like they put in him the way they're booking him as like the dude, and the merchandise is dope. I want that fit, man. Those shorts is fire, bro. Like this to me, Jimmy needs this way more than Jay does.
I agree. Jimmy needs the win. I think it's also twofold because if Jimmy can beat Jay with like underhead and mean solo coming out or something, it gives Jay the impetus to then come out on Sunday during Bloodline Rules to be like, oh no, you took that match for me and now I'm taking you out. Like, and you can come out during the main event. It gives him more reason to come out and help out, even with all the history they have. I'm going to sit here and apologize. I said back in the day, I can never see Jimmy and Jay as solo stars. And I always just picture them as a tag team. And I was wrong. Like, Jey Uso is a solo star. He has proven himself. He is over, and like, credit to him. They are extremely talented, and I always knew they were, and they're incredible human beings. So I'm happy for them. But I've always just pictured them as a tag team and could never see them as solo guys. But man, I'm genuinely excited to watch this match between those two brothers.
It might be matching. Honestly, they might steal the show, man. They got so much chemistry. If anyone's gonna put on a show, like those two, to me, that if there's that they might steal it.
I think it should open. I think that should be the first match of the show, because then you eliminate that aspect of what's going to happen with them as it relates to the rest of the bloodline stuff. I think the crowd will be hot into it. I think that should open the show.
I'm not mad at that.
This one's picked up in recent weeks for me. I think that one promo, was that on Raw 2 weeks ago? I want to say the promo where Rhea Ripley said, your daughter's going to call me mommy, and Becky was murdering it on the mic. And then Becky, confronted Rhea in the Ariel Helwani show recently, the same day that CM Punk was on there and gave his infamous interview, which maybe we should touch on at some point here in the show. But when you look at this match itself, I mean, you do have to give Becky her props for what she's accomplished in her career. And you have to give Rhea her props for where she is in the hierarchy right now. And I've said this from the beginning, and I truly believe it. In a non-Rock year, this main event's one of the nights.
I don't disagree. This has been so special, and the emotion you now get watching those two on screen, like they want to kill each other, and it is like palpable. Like it is like so uncomfortable because Becky is so fired up about what she said. And Rhea is one of the biggest stars in the company. So there's no reason it could not main event one of the two nights. They have been so good. I hope this match lives up to the hype, and I have no reason to believe it won't.
Hold on. Are you guys saying this match is better than the Io Sky Bailey matchup? To me, there's way more story in the Bailey matchup than this one. This was thrown together in the last month and a half. Like, I'm not about to do that. Bailey has never main evented a WrestleMania in her career. This is if anyone deserves a WrestleMania main event from the women's side, it's Bailey being part of one of the four horsemen. As back to this matchup right here. Yeah, dog, they've done what they're supposed to do. They've done what they're supposed to do. Like, they got physical the last 2 weeks. It was cool with the security guards. That was a cool spot. I think the outcome is kind of predictable. I think we all expect Rhea Ripley to walk away with the dub and send Becky right into the sunset. She just announced that her contract still hasn't been extended. So I expect a really good matchup. Becky, one thing I will respect about Becky Lynch is that she leaves it all on the line, man. Like, she empties the tank in her matches, and Rhea Ripley, we might see the best version of Rhea Ripley against Becky Lynch this Sunday. So I'm excited. Or Saturday.
There's no world where Rhea Ripley is losing, in my opinion.
Yeah, no.
And
that's why you don't main event. That's why to me this isn't a main event, because there's no. But
this is the match to cement Rhea's run. Like, this is the stamp of, the man gives you the stamp of approval for your
Charlotte
run.
last year. What are you talking about?
Well, we beat Charlotte last year, and then
Charlotte's better than Becky.
But if you beat Charlotte and Becky in back-to-back years, you might have just beat the two best wrestlers of all time in the women's division.
I'm not expecting you to lose to Becky Lynch after beating Charlotte Flair. I'm sorry.
Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair are on the same level, Gina.
No, they're not. They're not.
Yes, they are.
You would not expect Charlotte Flair. Hold on. If Charlotte won last year, no one would have been shocked. No one would have been shocked if Charlotte won last year. If Becky beats Rhea this year, it's a shot. It's an L.
It'd be shocking, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like,
I'll be surprised if Becky beat Rhea Ripley.
He's arguably one of the like Mount Rushmore women wrestlers of all time. Her run.
That's why I don't see it because of the WrestleMania main event because it's too predictable, man. You know Rhea's gonna go.
Cody versus Roman's pretty predictable. It's still gonna be the
Hold on, Cody lost last year though, but there's storyline on this one. Like there's still a suspense on whether or not Cody. I think Cody's gonna win, but if Roman ends up with the dub, I still think folks would.
I'll tell you what match does have me leaving a lot of questions, and it's Gunther versus Sammy. I don't know where that's gonna go.
Yeah, I mean, this is tough because there's a lot of stories that I could see resolving in a happy way. So I don't know if they can all go that way. Like, can Bailey win and Jay win and Cody win and Sammy win? But at the same time, I do think Sami Zayn was so hot for people forget how popular he was as honorarius, and a lot of people thought he should be the one to take the belt off of Roman at that point in time. So you got to remember that. And he's gone through a lot of adversity at this point. And I think you do him a lot of damage if he just loses again. And I also think it's time for Gunther to go to the main event. So if Cody's first program or one of his first programs is with Gunther, that would make sense to me. And Gunther needs to lose the Intercontinental title and move on to the next thing for that to happen. So I could see this being the full circle moment for Sami Zayn.
I don't. I think it's good. I think Gunther puts on a hell of a show. I think these boys try to burn the house down, and Gunther walks away with another dub. To me, Sammy, I don't know, man. I feel like I can't see him winning this matchup. I don't think he needs it. He's been able to lose gracefully. Even after he lost to Roman Reigns last year, he still looks like $1 million. Gunther's going to make him look like $1 million. To me, that Intercontinental title, Sep, you've won me over, man. I think it's for a guy like Chad Gable. I think it's meant for a guy on the rise, whereas Sammy, I can see Sammy winning Money in the Bank next month and going there. To me, that's where he belongs. But as far as that Intercontinental title, to me, Gunther has raised it to such an elevation that you have to give it to a guy that needs it. And to me, Sammy's shown he can lose gracefully. And winning this moment, to me, with so many potential happy endings, Sammy doesn't need it. We're going to see some generational endings at this WrestleMania, and I just don't think Sami Zayn needs it this year.
I've been on the record for a long time saying I want Gable to win it. I still feel that way, and I've been thinking about it more and more because I think this could go a lot of ways. You could have Sammy win, and then Chad turns on him, and then that's Sammy's first feud. You could have Gunther win, and this is what I think they should do. I think you should have Gunther win, keep the title, and that gives him the reason to say to Cody Rhodes on the next Raw, I'm the longest reigning IC champion of all time. I deserve the first shot at your WWE championship. Like, I have earned it. I am the longest reigning champion.
Champion versus champion. I'm not bad at that.
That's your first feud between the two of them. Like, to me, yes, I agree. Like, having Gunther drop the title out of WrestleMania makes a lot of sense. But Sammy, to me, still just doesn't feel like the guy. And yes, we were super invested in Sami Zayn when he was on television all the time in a great storyline. And quite frankly, I just don't think he's been in a great storyline until, honestly, this past 2 weeks with Chad Gable. I feel like this is like kind of elevated a little bit. I love the Performance Center stuff they did. I thought it was really entertaining, but it's been so short that I haven't had enough time to like invest in Sammy. And I know like they did the promos in the arena, empty arena and stuff, but like that just to me wasn't it. It didn't hit the way everything with the Bloodline did.
Well, going back to that point, Sammy's run right now is the same critique people had against Cody last year against Roman. Where's the adversity? You know, like you tell me in 2 weeks you're about to beat Gunther, the longest reigning WWE Intercontinental Champion. Nah, man, like you got to go through at least 6-7 months of hell, like a Chad Gable, before you relinquish that title.
I'm going to open my drink while neither of you guys is talking. So
start moving on to the next topic, which is the six-pack ladder match, which has got some incredible tag teams. And one of the really interesting things that Michael Cole dropped on Raw was both sets of titles are going to hang, and the match isn't over until both sets of titles have been pulled down. So there's a very real possibility that they're splitting up the tag team titles again, and we're going to have two sets of champions, one for Raw and one for SmackDown, which means you could potentially have two sets of winners. So I guess the question becomes, who would you want to see win?
Yeah, honestly, it's about time. I never understood why you had the Undisputed Tag Team titles, honestly. This is a smart way to go about it. I think Miz and R-Truth take for Raw. Obviously, I think R-Truth gets up there, forgets the rules, tries to pull down both or something, and then you get a funny spot, and then the ref's like, nah, chill. You can only grab one. And then R-Truth and Miz, they win. And secondly, I think it's going to be a team from SmackDown, no? So who are we looking at? Grayson Waller
I'm thinking New Catch Republic. I'm a huge fan of Tyler Bate. I've been a fan since I saw him at Chikara as a part of Mustache Mountain. So I'm a huge Tyler Bate guy. I would love to see him and Pete Dunne take the titles. And especially because like they're two young guys, give them a chance to really solidify themselves with some tag team titles. I'm 100% on board. I think Miz and Truth deserve the Raw tag team titles. R-Truth is a Hall of Famer for his comedy alone. He's also an incredible wrestler. Miz is one of the best of all time. He is also a Hall of Famer. Give these guys another run as a tag team. Let them be champions, because I don't even think they ever were champions before. Maybe they were. I can't remember. And so, yeah, I just it's funny. I've been texting you guys off the side because there was a internet rumor that the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin are free agents now and could sign anywhere. And I'm going to be the first to say the Australian A-Town team hit the bricks. I'm not a fan of Theory or Waller. They're both fine.
Grayson Waller's amazing.
Pick them out of the.
Grayson Waller's amazing.
He's been booked poorly, but Grayson Waller has so much potential, man.
They're just not for me. It's fine. They're good wrestlers. I like them. They're just not for me. But if you could somehow, we've all talked about like free agency and WWE not getting this guy, that guy. If they could bring in that team and slide them into that match, the spots they would have with DIY would be incredible. They would be amazing as a new tag team on Raw or SmackDown. So I'm still holding out hope that maybe we get a big surprise and those guys show up at Mania. That'd be.
There's also been rumors of the Hardy Boys. I mean, like, you look, who knows what could transpire. I'm going Miz and R-Truth and Waller and Theory as the two winners. Grayson Waller is sick on the mic. I don't know what you're talking about. Like,
but they need those titles. I think those guys need credibility, man. They've just been. They need some gold. They need some gold at this point. They're too good to be wasted like this.
And this sets up a spot fest, right? Like that's what this is one of those things. Like here's a bunch of guys, we're getting them in there, and we're gonna do this spot fest.
It's gonna be incredible.
It's gonna be great. I can't wait.
Hopefully he's gonna pull out something unbelievable. We're all gonna be like,
DIY is gonna kill it, man. I wish the Creed brothers were there. I only wish the Creed brothers were there. That's the only thing, man. I really wish they could have given them a spot.
I honestly hope DIY wins it. Like in an ideal world, like Miz and Truth grab it. But if DIY can get one of the sets of the titles, even if they move to SmackDown, I'm such a fan of Gargano and Ciampa. They're like wrestling veterans, even though they haven't been with WWE forever. They've been around the scene for such a long time. Like they are beloved by the wrestling internet community, and I'm a part of that. I'm a fan of both of them, so I would love to see them earn a tag team title win at the biggest show of the year.
This is when you switch the lower. There you go. But, yeah, I mean, look, this was another one of those ones where when I was looking at it a couple weeks back, it was like there's two people that need to be on this card, Bianca Belair and Dominic Mysterio. This is one of those, obviously, with Bianca. And then there's the aspect with Bianca and Jade getting involved. And I know you guys aren't – I don't care what y'all say. Jade is a star. She's a mega star. The presence is there. It's obvious. I don't care about her move set. I don't care about her work rate. All she has to do is show up in front of the camera. It is clear she's going to do things beyond the WWE one day. She is a generational type talent, so I'm glad she's going to be on display.
That's cool and everything, but at the end of the day, Bianca Belair is one of the top female wrestlers ever, and you got her in a 6-person tag team match. To me, that's an L in my opinion. Bianca's way too talented to just be thrown in something like this. It's gonna be the Jade Cargill showcase, and the fact that it's at the expense of Bianca Belair never sat right with me. Like honestly, like
they're gonna do stuff together though. I think you saw it at the Royal Rumble when they
tag match.
There's no them together.
There's no stakes involved, man. I feel the same way about this, the same way I felt about Lesnar and Omos a couple years. Like these are big time talents that you're just using to showcase for a moment. And to me, Bianca, we don't know how many years. I watched the documentary with her and the docuseries with her and Montez Ford, and they could be planning to have a family soon. So it's like you don't know how many years you have left of her to showcase. And the fact that we're getting a year with her in this wasted match, in my opinion, where there's no stakes involved, to me, it's an L. But Jade Cargill should be cool. But I just feel for Bianca in this moment because I know this is not what she wants at this point. Like she's doing the job, but this isn't. If it was up to her, she'd be in another singles match trying to put on another classic.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Listen, there is some incredible talent in this match, and I am a fan of Jade Cargill. I love the way they debuted her on SmackDown. It felt huge. It was big. The moves she did on Damage Control were very impactful. It looked incredible. So they did a great job of like giving her introduction. And listen, Naomi is a star. Bianca Belair is a superstar. And I also think in Damage Control, Asuka is one of the most underrated female wrestlers in the world. So there is some incredible talent in this match, and I'm sure it will be a very good match. I agree, Gene. The biggest issue with this match is just the build has been so short and so quick. It's whenever there's a WrestleMania match that feels kind of thrown together,
It sticks out.
It sticks out, and it just doesn't have that same feel. So, well, yes, I'm sure it'll be a great match. They'll pull out some incredible moves and try and put on an amazing part of the show. It definitely will be a lesser match for a lot of people.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm just happy Jade's going to be there. I'm going to be in the same building as Jade.
You're going to have another person you're excited to be there. How do you feel about Dominic Mysterio being thrown into another match that's just kind of like out of left field?
You feel me? Like, what are you say? There's a little bit of a pattern here.
Dominic Mysterio. That's all that matters. I get to boo Dominic Mysterio. Like, not every match can be the best match of all time with the best build of all time.
It's WrestleMania, bro. You should be like Seth just said, like these matches are just, I don't even know where this came from. Honestly, like I couldn't tell you where the beef even started. Like where the hell I get the Santos Rey Mysterio Dragon League, but where the hell did Dom come in this, man? Like where did that make
Ray's
son?
He's had a long standing beef.
I get, but like what?
As someone who's been so invested in the LWO and so excited that they brought that group back because I love them in WCW, and obviously it's not the same members, it's just the name and whatever. They're putting a bunch of new guys in there. They had all these pieces to put on a great six-man match with Santos, his team, and Ray and his team, and they just decided to like add in Dragon Lee to the LWO last minute, put in Dominic on the other side. It was like, what? Like you had all this storyline you built up for like months. You've been doing such a good job of these groups and interacting. You could have done so many combinations of fun matches for WrestleMania, and you just randomly threw in two other guys. Like Carlito got tossed.
Yeah, that's what I feel bad for. Like Carlito, like what are we doing, bro?
Listen, this will be a super fun match. I am a huge fan of all four of these guys, and I've been on record as saying how highly I think of Santos Escobar. To me, he's like potentially the biggest star of this match one day. Like obviously Ray's a Hall of Famer, he's one of the best of all time, but like Santos has the opportunity to become a truly like generational wrestler. I think he's got that kind of talent. So I'm excited to watch him, and this match will be for me super fun, and I'm sure the LWO and Los Economics will all be there and have some impact. But like, yeah, the way they threw this together at the last minute just doesn't sit right with me.
Well, it feels like a pre-show match. Don't get me wrong. Definitely feels like a pre-show match. But here's the thing about it again, and I understand it's WrestleMania and all that, but for the most part, all of the WrestleMania matches feel big. And this is just a way to, sometimes you just got to showcase some people. One, Dominic Mysterio gets to walk in and get booed, which you know is going to happen. You just mentioned what you think of Santos Escobar. You don't want to just push him to the side. Dragon Lee is one of those guys that, you know, anytime he's in the ring, you're going to be excited to watch. And Rey Mysterio is a legend. So it was just a way to check some boxes.
Well, okay, if you're going to do that, then why is the fact that Ricochet is not on the card? If that's the case, if we need to showcase guys, Ricochet is what I'm telling you. I was at Raw Monday. Ricochet had that match going crazy. Shout out to Ivar too. Those two put on a show. So yeah, like it tells me, this match tells me WWE can just throw something together, which makes no sense when guys like Ricochet are left off the card. This match to me, yeah, it's granted it's gonna be a pre-show. You get to see Rey Mysterio, Dom, but it's just, if I'm Ricochet, I'm like, damn, bro, like Santos, you telling me Dragon Lee and Santos Escobar is better? Like Ricochet's better than all these guys besides Dominic Mysterio as far as
but he really doesn't make sense in the match, right? Like if Ricochet had a tag team partner, he should be in the ladder
anyway. Who cares, man? I'm gonna come in.
Did he used to partner with Braun Strowman? You know,
Dog, they might take out Grayson Waller and Austin Theory for some randos, man. Like who cares, man? Throw Ricochet in there, man. Ricochet needs to be in this.
I guess my whole thing is like, if you're gonna put Dragon Lee in this match, why did you put him in the LWO a month ago? Like you've had all this time to like do all these things and continue that story. If this was the end goal, if this is where you knew you were going, why did you just, I mean, it seems like they just didn't care about it. It becomes like, you know, not even secondary. It's, you know, fifth or sixth down the line in importance of like building. And you've SmackDown, you have all these shows with all these characters. You could be utilizing that time to facilitate this storyline to get to here. Instead, it was like, hey, we're a week away. And by the way, boom, all these new characters are involved. It felt very, I don't know. I don't even know what the right word is. Just unfulfilling.
This one's good though. I mean, I think the problem is it was the Punk promo that really sold it. But I do think Drew is due for his coronation through this run. I guess there's probably speculation that Damian Priest could cash in at some point, either after the tag match or during this match. But I feel like the time is ripe for Drew McIntyre to be made the World Heavyweight Champion.
See, I would have agreed with you. And the more I slept on it, I don't think Drew's walking away with that title. And due to the fact that CM Punk is going to be in the vicinity, Drew McIntyre, to me, his character wants to rub it in CM Punk's face. Could you just imagine seeing Drew in the corner, looking at CM Punk, ready to count down for the Claymore, and then gets caught? To me, this match is going to be very interesting because I do think there's a universe where Drew McIntyre interferes on Sunday night to make sure if Seth Rollins tries helping Cody, that we keep that going, because I do think the end game will be Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, CM Punk for that World Heavyweight Championship. But Drew, on paper, this should be an incredible match, especially with CM Punk around. So I'm looking forward to it. I didn't care for it as much, but the build, and like you said, CM Punk sold it. CM Punk, to me, is what made this match feel the way it's supposed to feel. Because if it was just these guys, I wouldn't have cared.
So I'm excited for the match, but I think the worst statement I can make about this, and I just feel this way, is I honestly just don't really care who wins, because I don't really think it matters. Like, I would just keep the title on Seth, because I don't think there's any reason to give it to Drew. And then the more I thought about it, like, oh, Damian Priest should cash in, take the title from Seth after Seth wins. There's your next feud. But if Damian cashes in on night 2 early in the show, it's like an afterthought if Cody wins the title, because like nobody's going to care about Damian winning, because the whole story and the whole night is going to be focused on Cody. So this moment to like build Damian Priest into this next top guy becomes just washed away so fast. So now I've been thinking about it more and more. I actually don't want him to cash it in. I'd rather even save it for the night after WrestleMania, where he'll get his moment and his night to like have the spotlight on him. If he does it on Sunday, that spotlight is not on him, no matter how good it is.
I mean, look, I think it's 2 years in a row. Austin Theory didn't do anything with the Money in the Bank. And I love the match that Damian Priest had with Bad Bunny, but I really don't see it. I don't see it as like him being on the level of those guys. So it is what it is.
Well, to Seth's point, you can't have the Money in the Bank briefcase not mean anything. Like, this would be the second year in a row, and you're about to have a Money in the Bank pay-per-view. If we start looking back like, hey, it doesn't really matter who wins the briefcase because there's nothing that comes of it, that's a problem. So to me, I would throw this out there. Damian Priest cashes in the Money in the Bank on night 2, but when we get to the main event match of Roman and Cody, to me, that's how you give that title, that briefcase, credibility, because right now no one cares about the guy, and everyone's already expecting him to cash it on Drew and Seth for a title that no one really cares about anyway. To me, if you want to make this mean something, you put that Money in the Bank on Sunday night and not Saturday night. I know I jumped ahead, but I just had to throw that out there before we ran too far, man. That's what I'm thinking.
Now you got me thinking, let's just throw out a scenario. What if Priest were to cash in after the tag team match? Like Seth and Cody get the crap beat out of by Roman and Rock. Priest comes in, cashes in, and now this match is just 2 guys fighting.
Yeah.
The Rock calls out Damian Priest. The Rock told Seth, if you get into the bloodline business, he's gonna make that title go away. They're holding the belt. He tells Damian Priest to come out, and
I think that was what I was speculating. And I don't think Seth and Drew need the title because of the CM Punk aspect of it. There's also the heat there. So I really could see that happening. Like, again, I think night 1 is Infinity War, right? What happens in Infinity War? The snap, everybody's gone. Spider-Man's crying. Black Panther's disappearing. Everybody's sad. Like, that is going to be night 1. You're going to have Cody and Seth lose. Maybe Seth also loses his title. Bloodline holding up the belts. Like, that's night 1. Thanos wins. Night 2, you're on your left.
No, if that happens, then there's just nothing but confusion heading to night 2. Like, is Seth Drew not for the title anymore? Is it now a triple threat match? What's gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that briefcase, I think, is going to play a major role, because you cannot have it not mean anything for 2 years in a row. You can't.
Unless they hold it for the Raw after Mania, which is still very much a possibility.
This one's interesting, because it does have a great story, like Gene said. And it does have 2 really fantastic wrestlers. but it also feels like it's really been put on the back burner. Like I don't feel like there's been much build to this at all. There's much hype around it at all. I mean, Bailey's made the case for it main eventing. 2 years in a row now, the Rumble winner on the women's side is not main evented and the like. But I do think they're going to have a great match, and I understand there's naturally built-in stakes. But when I'm thinking of the card, it's not jumping to the top of my head.
The problem with this match is it's the most choreographable finish of all time. Like there's no world where Bailey does not walk out night 2 as champion.
I disagree.
Really?
Well, yeah, I think Io Sky might win. Yeah.
Oh, we got intrigue. I disagree. I think Bailey takes the title, but the fact that there's folks who probably think Io's gonna take it, man. There's too many happy endings, man. Like we can't have too many happy endings. There's does Bailey need that title? She's already on the Mount Rushmore.
No, she needs it.
Does she?
Yes. She's earned more than she needs it. She's earned it. It's like she should win it because of that. And it's got a great storyline. But to me, the reason I think for me, it's not that I'm not excited about the match because I want Bailey to win. Clearly, I'm excited about it. And I would be very upset if she didn't. It's also the match that we've been so excited about for so long that it's kind of like, I don't know if there was enough to get us 2 months of build. And I almost wish that was like, that match was earlier. And that's not that they don't deserve a spot on WrestleMania card. They absolutely do. It's just that I think once you hit that certain point, and I felt that way like the night after them turning on Bailey, I was like, man, I'm ready to watch that match next week. I don't want to wait another month and 3 weeks or whatever it was.
But Io Sky is also special in the ring. So
right.
That's the thing. I mean, Io Sky's held that. She doesn't talk, right? And she's had the title there. And Bailey, we know, can go. So I do think it's one of those ones that maybe even if you're not as hyped, once it's actually happening in front of you, it's going to command your attention.
I low-key have been sold that Io is going to win real quick. Just because if Damage Control gets washed by Jade Cargill, which we all expect, how much damage is going to be now that your champion lost to? I feel like someone from that group has to leave with a dub or at least look credible.
Yeah, I think Io's winning. I do. LA Knight, AJ Styles. This one, I'm with you guys. It's kind of, LA Knight has to win this match, right? Like, considering how hot he's been for so long, there's just no upside on AJ Styles.
It sucks for AJ because if you look at his WrestleMania history, like he hasn't had a WrestleMania classic yet. As far and to me, he's one of the best.
Undertaker's last match.
I was about to. I didn't want to interrupt.
It almost felt more like a DVD movie.
I'm talking in front of the crowd. Five-star banger. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
It's not a 5-star match. That is a moment that I'll never forget.
That's a moment. Yes, he's had a moment with Taker. Cool. I'm talking 30-minute, 25-minute match. Damn, this is awesome. Tight matchup. AJ Styles hasn't had that yet, and that it kind of sucks because I don't think LA Knight's the guy that's going to give it to him because I don't think LA Knight, as far as the ring work, as far as character, he's there. But as far as ring work, I don't think he's up there. This match should obviously be a street fight. If you ask me, like these dudes are breaking into each other's houses, all this. Like the fact that this is just a straight up match makes absolutely no sense to me. I'll just book this as some sort of street fight. Because the hate, it's crazy because these guys have actually had time to build a story and it still hasn't hit yet. So here's an example of you could have all the time in the world. Sometimes it's just not gonna matter.
I said this a long time ago, and Robin jumped down my throat, and I'll bring it back up because I just feel this way. LA Knight is a great character. He's super over, but he's not, to me, super special in the ring. He's very forgettable. And I just think he is one of those guys who reaches a point and will never break through. And I said it then, and I feel it that way now. It's not that he's not talented. He clearly is. There's a reason everyone likes him. But I honestly don't even think he should win. I think AJ Styles should win because Styles to me has more credibility as a guy you could put against a future champion, against the Cody Rhodes. Like he's won all these big matches. He's been in all these iconic championship feuds in Japan, in other promotions, in WWE. He's fought everybody. So he's got that instant credibility. It's like when we talk about a Nakamura, you can put him in a match with anyone and instantly you're like, okay, this matters because this guy's there. AJ Styles is the same way. So for me, I'd rather just give AJ Styles the win, have him build his resume a little bit more. LA Knight, he just is what he is.
But you're just going out of your way to squash it. I don't even disagree completely on LA Knight, but the guy's super popular. I mean, it is what it is. It doesn't matter what we think. You hear it, you see it. That's what the business is. And I just don't see any upside for AJ Styles. He wins so he can do what? Because he can lose and you could still do that based on his career credibility. It doesn't matter if he wins or loses. I think it does matter if LA Knight loses.
But I think there's a reason why we all feel why this match is mid is because you got one guy who's really good at what he does in the ring and another guy who's not. So, we're not really clamoring over LA Knight match. So to me, that's why you give AJ Styles the win, because he's the best. I think it's simply put, he's the better wrestler. He's better than him. Like when it comes to ring, you're not going to convince me that LA Knight is in the same class as AJ Styles when it comes to ring work. Some guys you can shadow it, but to me, they're so different. And AJ is such a legend in the ring. This is LA Knight's first WrestleMania. I'm supposed to believe he's going to beat AJ Styles. I'm sorry, nah. Give it to AJ.
It's not even the ring work. Because listen, I mean, in my opinion, you guys might disagree. Like Rock and Roman can't touch Rollins and Cody in the ring. But I don't care about that. I still want them to win the tag match. It's not about the work rate. It's about his LA Knight has a ceiling, and he can be a very good mid-card guy who's super over, who just never breaks through. And that to me is just what he's going to be. I just don't see him winning. To me, doesn't like catapult him anywhere. It doesn't like put him on this trajectory to like, he's just going to be that guy that gets put in some matches here and there. He'll always be over and like he'll sell some merch, but I
agree. He hasn't impressed me in the ring, but I'm insulted by the comparison to Roman and Rock, just because when you say work rate, it's not all about like how fast you're going and how many different things. Like The Rock has a presence. He knows what he's doing in the ring. You don't go think this is going to fall flat because The Rock is involved. Roman has a pace to his matches. The way he works to the crowd in the middle of the match, talks to the camera in the middle of the match. It is part of the performance. So yes, those guys aren't the quote unquote workers in the sense that some of these other guys are, but they are main eventers, not just because of their presence away from the match, but because of what they can do in their matches. Both of those guys have classics.
No, I agree, and I'm on the same page. That's why I'm saying.
Hold on, Roman doesn't have any classics.
Yes, he does.
No, he
Roman
doesn't.
and Cody last year is a classic.
Okay.
Brock Lesnar is a classic.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Roman and Brock Lesnar.
Hold on. He's been champion before you. How many classics does he have? How many classics does he have? How many classics does he have?
Two. I just named two off the top of my head, right?
Okay, that's the only one you got. And I really give you the second one.
Hang on. I don't want to lose focus of what my point was. The point was, I don't care that LA Knight is not a great worker. That doesn't matter to me. I was trying to explain that even though other guys aren't great, quote unquote, workers, they're still incredible. I was complimenting The Rock and Roman, saying how they are so special, even if they're not putting on what internet people would call 5-star wrestling matches. Who cares? They're dumb ratings. Like, how do you feel? And for me, when I watch LA Knight, I don't feel anything. I know other people do, and they really like him, but for me, it does not resonate.
Fair enough. He's popular. That's all. This is a good one. Because this is gonna be a banger. It's almost like the floor for this match is very, very high, I would say, considering the people involved. Logan Paul and he does the viral spots, obviously, and is as good as almost anybody as early in a career as we've seen. KO can do all sorts of different type of matches. We saw him work with an old Stone Cold Steve Austin to a really good match 2 years ago. And then there's the Viper, Randy Orton, who he goes as well as anybody ever in there, really, to be like Randy Orton is sick with it. So I think this will be a really good match.
I'm excited for this match for two things. Number one, it is the perfect spot for Randy Orton because, as you said, Logan Paul is going to do something incredible. Kevin Owens, to me, is one of the best wrestlers in the world. Like, I'm a huge fan of his, and this match will protect Randy so much. He's coming off a big injury. He doesn't have to do all the crazy things because Logan Paul and Kevin Owens can have those spots where Randy can still be a part of it and help and and he's an incredible wrestler, and he will impact the match in certain ways and add another dynamic, but like, he doesn't have to do anything insane to potentially get hurt. So it's kind of a perfect spot for him. I don't actually know who wins this match because I think Logan Paul has been incredible as U.S. champion, and I wouldn't take the championship off of him. I think he still has way more to go, more feuds he can tell stories with, and unless he's leaving, there's no reason to take the title off of him, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'll say this. I think Logan Paul probably benefits the most of this match because you're in the ring with two veterans who are going to protect him. If he does do any crazy spots, they're going to be as safe as possible. As far as who's going to win, I think you just said it. Logan Paul's going to win. Who catches the pin is going to be very interesting because who's going to catch that pin from? Obviously, he's going to cheat to do it, so it won't be Randy and Owens. Neither of them are going to take an L. I think if he does pin Randy, The stage that Randy's in at this point of his career, I think it'd be a really cool look for him to put Logan over like that, even if it's in some cheap tactic. Logan, to me, has a chance to put himself into the legit category if he can get this dub, as far as how we look at him. Because I think we all look at him like, hey, he knows what he's doing. He's been in the ring with some big-time matches. But a WrestleMania moment in a win over Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, to me, would show that the WWE really is invested in this guy and they see him as part of the future. I can't wait for this match. I can't wait to see one of the illest RKOs ever, because you know what's going to happen. I'm looking forward to it.
No question.
This one, talk about another one that just like, to me, feels like, oh, this just appeared. I think they didn't want Bobby Lashley off of 2 back-to-back WrestleMania cards. I mean, look, I can see Montez Ford really having a moment. Karrion Kross has done better in some of these. I was always not interested in him at all, but some of the stuff he's done on social media the last couple of days has been better than what he's done in the past. But yeah, this is a bathroom break match for me.
I want to love this match because everything about Final Testament should work. I should be a fan. Like, I think the 2 big time tag team guys are awesome. Paul Ellering is a freaking legend of this business. Like, Karrion Kross just doesn't do anything for me, and I don't care about them. I want to so bad. The Street Profits to me are being so underutilized in this spot. Bobby Lashley is great. They're good to me. That team has to win, but I want the Street Profits out of this scenario. I want them kind of away from Bobby Lashley. They should be building them. They should be in the tag team match. That is where that team should be. This is just such a miss for me.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't care about this match until I found out that it is a Philadelphia street fight. So they have all the tools to go crazy. And knowing Montez Ford and seeing what he's done in PLEs like the Elimination Chamber, these dudes are creative. And if you're Bobby Lashley, you missed WrestleMania last year, you're going to try to put on a show so these boys don't ever leave you off another WrestleMania. So there's motivation there. You got guys in the ring that are really going to try to prove, all right, we belong, we're being underutilized. And now you're telling me that we got all the tools in Philly to kind of put on a classic? I think, and last year when they were in a tag match, I think it was an 8-man tag match last year with the Street Profits. They did well, man. They thrive in chaos. And I'm expecting to see a spot fest. To me, I'm excited. If it was just a regular tag team match, I'd agree with you. But a street fight, I'm sold.
Here's the problem, Gene. We all know in wrestling, you're allowed to do certain things, but they can't go crazy. And you know why? Because the Bloodline Rules match, if that is the final match of the night, you have to save those crazy spots for that. And the other stuff, like, no, they always do that. Because they're not going to let them go through a table if they know they need to see
it. The Bloodline Rules match is not about crazy spots. The Bloodline Rules match is not. No, it's not. When has Roman ever done a crazy spot? Cody doesn't.
I think this is the match where they're going to try and play something.
This is the match where all hell is going to break loose. This is the match where, again, you're going to have Endgame, Infinity War, Endgame, Infinity War. Cody loses. All looks bleak. Endgame. The entire Thanos army is there. It's just Cody standing there like Captain America, and then all of a sudden. Dun, 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 or dun, 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 dun. Like all hell, I'm telling you, all hell is going to break loose.
Will you be if nobody shows up?
I'm not disappointed at all. Again, last year they put on a classic with none of that. I think you're going to see the
same. That ending sucked last year, Robin.
No, that ending was perfect.
No,
that was great. No, that's an all-time classic match. It was voted the match of the year by the fans.
Who cares, man? That shit was trash.
Who cares by the fans?
That was trash.
I think you see the same finish where Solo hits the Samoan spike, Cody kicks out, but I do think you're going to see a great. He has to overcome that's what's going to happen. Cody is going to lose and then overcome what seems like it can't be overcome, the Bloodline Rules.
But I think he's going to do it by himself. I've started to think that maybe a Jey Uso or a Seth Rollins come out just to like take out a Solo, take out a Jimmy, and it comes down to just Rock and Roman. But the more I think about it, like I think it's going to be Cody overcoming both of them by himself, because that is like the ultimate babyface move where he just overcomes the final 2 guys to vanquish both of them and raise that title. All the extra stuff will be incredible and would lead to an amazing moment. But at the be-all, end-all of this match, it needs to be Cody Rhodes earns the WWE Championship. He beats Roman Reigns definitively. He takes out The Rock. This is about Cody Rhodes. It's not about anybody else. It's not about all the gimmicks and stars you can bring out. This match is built around one man, and that's Cody. And if they don't give him his due, that's the problem. Because
but it's built around Cody, but it's also built around Roman. We could going back to the beginning of what we said. We're 3.5 years in. If Roman's losing, that's a big thing too. Not just Cody winning, but Roman losing is a big thing. Roman's been pinned, by Jey Uso one time in this entire almost 4 years now. And you can't lose sight of how crazy that is in the modern era, where there's 2 shows a week on TV. There's a PLE every month. And I know Roman hasn't been there for all of them, but that is you could get away. Bruno Sammartino's record is a whole different animal. It's like, the dead ball era versus the live ball era in baseball or something like that. Or, in the NBA, you talk about the 3-point shot versus before the 3-point shot. This is not normal in today's day and age. So yes, I agree. It's about Cody and Cody overcoming things. And I'll be happy for Cody. And who wouldn't be happy to see Cody win at this point? And that's one of the reasons I think Cody losing last year was brilliant. But you don't want to discount that it's also about Roman. Bloodline rules. Roman is the bloodline, the tribal chief, the head of the table. If he loses, that's 2 stories coming full circle.
Well, here's the thing. It's more about Cody, though. Roman's going to have his moment Saturday night. So no one's going to care if Roman loses on Sunday. It's going to be more about Cody winning than Roman losing on Sunday. I bet you. No one's going to say, oh, poor Roman. I can't believe he lost his title. They're going to be, finally, we got the belt off this part-timer, and I can't wait because we actually got a champion that's going to be here that actually cares about the WWE. Get this heel out of here. Get The Rock's cousin out of here, and let's give it to Cody Rhodes. I cannot wait for Sunday, this match. But I will say this. You can bring all those guys and still have Cody have his moment. You can bring Austin back. You can bring Cena back. Take out The Rock. Get these guys out of the ring. And then you got Cody and Roman no help. Yeah. One-on-one. Cody beats them clean. And then happy ending. Fireworks. Everyone goes happy. Everyone goes home happy. That's the ending I predict.
I want to agree with you, but here's the problem with this. And I agree. You took the words right out of my mouth with Roman. Roman's getting his ending on night 1. That is the end of the Roman Reigns era, and whether he comes back or does something else, who knows? But Sunday has to be about Cody, and my issue with that, if somebody else vanquishes The Rock and they all take him out, and it's just Cody Roman, and Cody gets to finish that match, that's great, and it will be an amazing moment. He needs to be the one to beat down The Rock now because of everything that's happened with The Rock and him. That we've talked about this for weeks. It's felt more like the Rock and Cody story than it has the Cody and Roman story.
I think we're seeing that. I think we're seeing that down the road. I think. No. Look, they're advertising Roman for Summer. I think we're seeing a Rock Cody one-on-one match before next year's WrestleMania. This is my prediction. Probably it's like SummerSlam, but I think we're seeing the Rock and Cody one-on-one sometime before next year's WrestleMania, and I think we're seeing Roman and Rock at next year's WrestleMania.
Yeah, my biggest fear is that Rock's gonna turn on Roman and Cody wins that way, and if everyone be like, no,
that's not happening now. I don't think after the way they beat them down.
Agreed, because everything wouldn't make sense, and everything needs to make sense. That's been my motto since we found out about the first Rock Roman match, where I was like, that doesn't make sense. That's why for this, I agree, there can be interferences and stuff and have those moments, but Cody needs to beat both of these guys definitively. He needs to be the one to take The Rock out.
I disagree. You don't think he can beat Roman without beating on The Rock? Without beating The Rock first? Or
he needs to be the one to just get The Rock out of the picture. Whatever that looks like, taking the strap and whipping him, he needs that moment against The Rock to then build to that moment to defeating Roman Reigns. Because if he can do those 2 things back to back, that puts him as the guy. It shows I can beat The Rock, or I can beat the final boss, and then I can beat the tribal chief, and I can do it by myself. I'm the guy. I want it.
I don't know if you're gonna get all that. I don't think they're gonna give him all that juice, man. I think they'll give him the title. I don't think you're gonna get over on The Rock and Roman Reigns on night 2.
This almost feels like John Cena.
If that was the case, why didn't you do it night 1? Because if that's the case, if you could take both these boys out, why didn't you do it night 1? Because
they gotta stack that. They gotta stack the odds against him.
Exactly. You gotta keep building those odds. But that's why you gotta build those odds, and then give him that true baby face. I am going to just whoop both your asses. I'm the man. Take a back seat. That is what will take Cody Rhodes from where he is to another level.
I think that was a WrestleMania preview, fellas.
I'm excited.
I think we did it.
Enjoy
Vito
the show,
Wrestling.
y'all.
Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, comment later. There'll be people telling Gene how much he hates Roman Reigns.